Now, folks, again, let's talk about that Haitian envoy. In his resignation letter to Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, Daniel Foote says the inhumane and counterproductive decision to deport thousands of Haitian refugees have led to his immediate resignation. I want to show the lead paragraph, which is the most important, because he gets right to the issue quite quickly in this here. And this is what he says. Come to my computer, please. This is what he says. Our policy approach to Haiti remains deeply flawed, and my recommendations have been ignored and dismissed when not edited to project a narrative different from my own. The people of Haiti, mired in poverty, hostage to the terror, kidnappings, robberies, and massacres of armed gangs, and suffering under a corrupt government with gang alliances, simply cannot support the forced infusion of thousands of returned migrants lacking food, shelter, and money without additional avoidable human tragedy. The collapsed state is unable to provide security or basic services, and more refugees will fuel further desperation and crime. Surging migration to our borders will only grow as we add to Haiti's unacceptable misery. Haitians need immediate assistance to restore the government's ability to neutralize the gangs and restore order through the national police. They need a true agreement across society and political actors with international support to chart a timely path to the democratic selection of their next president and parliament. They need humanitarian assistance, money to deliver COVID vaccines, and so many other things. But what our Haitian friends really want and need is the opportunity to chart their own course without international puppeteering and favored candidates, but with genuine support for that course. I do not believe that Haiti can enjoy stability until her citizens have the dignity of truly choosing their own leaders fairly and acceptably. Last week, the U.S. and other embassies in Port-au-Prince issued another public statement of support for the unelected de facto Prime Minister, Dr. Ariel Henry. And I'm going to pull up this second piece right here. He said, as interim leader of Haiti, and have continued to tout his, quote, political agreement over another broader earlier accord shepherded by civil society. The hubris that makes us believe that we should pick the winner again is impressive. This cycle of international political interventions in Haiti has consistently produced catastrophic results. More negative impacts to Haiti will have calamitous consequences, not only in Haiti, but in the U.S. and our neighbors in the hemisphere. Signed, Daniel Foote, and he will, of course, he sent it to the Undersecretary for Political Affairs, the Assistant Secretary for Western Hemisphere Affairs, the Acting Director General, Congressman Gregory Meeks, Chair of the U.S. House of Representatives Foreign Affairs Committee, and Congressman Andy Levin, House of Representatives. I've seen a lot of resignation letters, Dr. Greg Carr, but very few have been that blunt in resigning in protest from the State Department.
Well, it's always good to be with you and with everyone on Thursdays, Roland, weekly. But, you know, this is a particularly heavy week. And another reason why Black Star Network is so important. This story is going to be covered a lot of places, but it won't be covered anywhere like this. Daniel Foote basically is a traitor. He's a traitor to the American project in this moment. They threw him under the bus. This is a career diplomat. He joined the Department of State in 1998. He has been stationed in Zambia. He has worked in Central America. He has done Bolivia, other places, Latin America. And he's only been in Haiti as a special envoy since the end of July, when Moise was killed, the prime minister. But they installed Ariel Henry. You see, the United States government installed Ariel Henry. You see, the Biden administration installed Ariel Henry to do exactly what he is doing. And the response from Ned Price, who's a spokesperson from the State Department, to Mr. Foote's allegation that his recommendations have been cast aside, they said, no, we didn't cast them aside. We considered them and considered that they were, quote, this is the Biden administration, quote, harmful to our commitment to the promotion of democracy in Haiti, and were rejected his recommendations during the policy process. They're in bed with, they stood him up with the Organization of American States. They're in bed with this cat. They're not just ignoring civil society. They don't want the Haitian people in charge of Haiti. Joe Biden, you mummy. And so as they have mounted up, as they've mounted now, as many as 7 flights now, they've ramped them up. These flights have about 145 people apiece. And we heard Congresswoman Wilson talk about this. Some of the people have been in Latin America for over a decade. They left after the earthquake in Haiti in 2010. They went to work in the World Cup in Brazil in 2014. The racist Brazilian government, which ended up with Bolsonaro there now, began to expel them. That's why they ended up in Chile. And as she said, they have been assaulted. There have been rapes. There's been robbery and thieves and people lying and saying if you trade for this money to bring them to the Texas border. And what is the Biden administration doing under this Title 42 piece that the Trump administration started? Joe Biden, they've been using the excuse that we're deporting people because of COVID, and they appealed a federal ruling that said you can't use that excuse. The Biden administration just appealed that. They are deporting people, and they're going to try to deport as many of them as they can, or turn them back to Mexico, release some into the United States. But Foote, apparently, Roland, finally, brother, he's had enough. This is a career civil servant, a member of the senior diplomatic corps, who looks as if he has had enough. And when Jen Psaki stood there and lied to the face of Yamisi Alcindor, whose parents came here from Haiti, who grew up in Miami, who talks about that, I'm sure it was very personal for that sister today in that room, they revealed that this no good settler state don't give a damn about black people, and that includes Joe Biden.
Folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
It's time to be smart.
Roland Martin's doing this every day.
Oh, no punching!
Thank you, Roland Martin, for always giving voice to the issues.
Look for Roland Martin in the whirlwind, to quote Marcus Garvey again.
The video looks phenomenal, so I'm really excited to see it on my big screen.
Support this man, Black media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
See, there's a difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
I got to defer to the brilliance of Dr. Carr and to the brilliance of the Black Star Network.
I am rolling with Roland all the way. Honored to be on a show that you own. A black man owns the show.
Folks, Black Star Network is here.
I'm real revolutionary right now. Roland was amazing on there.
Stay black. I love y'all.
I can't commend you enough about this platform that you've created for us to be able to share who we are, what we're doing in the world, and the impact that we're having.
Let's be smart. Bring your eyeballs home.
You can't be Black-owned media and be scared. You dig?